Welcome back, Double Team fam. How are we doing? Today we welcome Pete. We've had him on the show before. He is a longtime friend of Nikki and I's. We've known each other for quite some time now, like almost our whole time in LA. So yeah, welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like this time we can
like come back then.
now that they already know you, I'm like, we can just like be friends talking on a show this time.
Your unemployed friends.
Oh, yeah, we're all unemployed.
All Thursday.
We are all currently unemployed. Actually, this is a Friday that we're recording.
This is Friday,
It's
yeah.
Friday, yeah.
I'm already losing track of days, and it's been less than a week.
Oh my
Actually,
God,
it's
been like 4 months for me. And when I say like, you know, I wake up on a Monday and I feel horrible still. But
it's been 2 years for me. But I haven't wanted to go back into the workforce, so I've just been chilling.
temporarily retired.
Yes, temporarily retired.
Oh, it's just a nice little taste of retirement for you.
I'll never forget when I called my Fidelity guy because I was like looking at my 401k and wanting to make some changes. But this is prior to the tariff shit. But anyways, and he was like, "What's your 5-year plan? When do you want to retire?" And he was like, "What?" He was like, "What's your income looking like currently?" And I was like,
It's not.
I was like, you know what? I was like, look, after COVID, I don't have a 5-year plan. We're looking 6 months ahead max.
I'm looking 5 days ahead of my week. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. As it should be.
I'm looking 5 minutes in front of me.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know where I see myself next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me ask you this. 5 years ago, if you had asked yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 years, would you be where you thought you would be?
I've exceeded that.
Actually, maybe. Because 5 years ago, I wanted to move out here, and then I moved to Colorado. So like it was like a kind of like a quick pivot out of that. But I wanted to be here. Yeah, I did. I guess I manifested it way too early for it to happen.
Well,
but I love
So here we
now
are.
you're here.
Yeah.
What was your previous 5-year plan?
5 years ago, I was married and selling airplanes. And I thought 5 years ahead, I would still be married and selling airplanes. So
Nice.
to be fair.
Wait, what's
Very different.
What's 5 years ago?
2020. COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess my 5-year plan would have looked vastly different.
That's what
I thought by now I probably would have owned like an events venue, you know, and I'd be hosting weddings. And yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I was having panic attacks in the grocery store. I'm good now.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your trauma, but
It was a fun time in my life.
I feel you there because like I too grew up with panic attacks. We're both anxious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was unrelated to COVID. I was just having panic attacks because my life was like not great.
But I feel like drugs really helped me with my panic attacks.
honestly, I think panic attacks in the grocery store are better than panic attacks in the strip club because that was my experience. And let me just
hyperventilating, just being like, "You're doing great," and she's like, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "No," but here.
Okay, wait, let me tell this story real quick. So basically, like, I was with my boyfriend, and one night we were like out with his friends at a hockey game, and afterwards, like, one of their buddies works as a bartender at like the local strip club, and they were all like,
"This was recent."
Yeah, this was recent. Yeah, they were all like, "Let's go," and I was like, I have some trauma with strip clubs because my ex-husband used to lie to me about them profusely. And
don't want to do that.
it was, and so there's some trauma there. And like, I hadn't really like thought about it for a long time. Like, I think I just kind of put it away. Cause like, I've been to strip clubs, like as a single person, like, you know,
as a married person,
as a married person, whatever. And so I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but then like, you know, he was like, "Okay, I think this is where we're going to go with all the guys." And I was like, "I don't want to go." And he was like, "Everything's going to be fine. Like, let's just give it a try." I was like, "Okay." And so we get there and like, I walk in the door and it was like all the trauma from, you know, like back.
The dam broke, just flooding in.
And I had to like walk to the bathroom and just like in the stall, I was like, "It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay." And then I like walked outside, washed my hands. I did pee. And there was like a woman there and she was like, "There are no paper towels." And I had on a Burberry scarf and I was like, "Do you want to use this?" And she was like, "What?"
not the Burberry.
She was like, "I'm not going to use your Burberry scarf." I'm like, "It's fine. It's old. It's silk." Like, and wool blend. You're going to be fine. Anyways. And then we left because I couldn't handle it. But yeah. So
Sounds
Wait,
terrible.
how is that a panic attack?
What?
How is that a panic attack?
It was
Wait,
it was a near panic attack. It was the closest. I actually have never had a full-fledged panic attack, but it was the closest I've ever been.
because you've seen me have a panic attack.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole 30-minute ordeal of like, I can't move.
And that's what I'm
Like-
saying. I was like in the stall, like hyperventilating and not moving. And so that's when I was like, I think this is close to a panic attack.
Wait, what does your panic attack look like?
It's very internal. I like would freeze up and then like, cause my mind just runs in like a circle and I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And like, I just start like breathing like really heavily and I just like freeze and I sit there and I like try to like muscle my way through it. And then when that doesn't work, inevitably, like when I was in the grocery stores having them, then eventually like I'd have a full cart of food and I'm just like, oh fuck. And I would just like throw it. And then I would just run out the door and sit in my car and then like play like Casey Musgraves or Phoebe Bridgers at the time. I had like I can't remember which song it was, but a specific Phoebe Bridgers song that like calmed me down, and I'd listen to that, or I'd call my sister, and then I like
me, it was
calm down.
Coldplay, Clocks. That's my one song that would try to like get me out of a panic attack. But I would also, I mean, of course, I'm very internal, and I would also freeze, and then like most of the time, like I couldn't move, and I would just be like breathing really hard, and then usually there at one point like I had to scream. Yep. And then,
Interesting.
yeah. So panic attacks look different for everyone.
Yeah.
That was not a
Yeah.
tangent I was expecting to
No,
go down.
no.
But
mine,
it's great.
mine were because they would happen when I'd forget headphones when I go to the grocery store, and if I had headphones, I was fine. But I think it was just because like I had so much time to myself, I was just listening to my own thoughts. So then they would happen. But we're good now.
I too
love the
drown my own
grocery
thoughts
store.
with music when I'm going through something.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're all 30 now. We're learning how to regulate our emotions.
I've learned that when I'm going through something, if the first thing I do when I wake up is put on Tangled or Lilo and Stitch, I'll be fine for the rest of the day. I have to watch it, and then like I have to repeatedly watch something that I know makes me happy until I get over it.
Okay.
So like Running Point, I watched that
Have you
show
watched
like
that?
3 times in a row.
I have no idea what that is.
Running Point. It just came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
It has Kate Hudson in it. She becomes the manager of a basketball team.
Wait, does this have Chet Hanks in it?
Who?
Chet Hanks.
Oh, yes.
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 I love
Who's
that man.
Which one's that one?
He's the
That-
basketball player in that show. I know what the show is
Oh,
now.
the one that had the mom.
Yes.
Oh, him? Yeah. Okay, you gotta
I love Chet Hanks.
you gotta watch the show. It's good.
I'll check it out.
Now that we're all
my man Chet Hanks is in there. I love it. He kicked off White Boy Summer like 3 years ago, and then I was
really?
like, maybe this is a bad thing, but he's hilarious. He like randomly spoke with like a Jamaican accent for like 2 years. Very wild person. Start digging into Chet Hanks, and he's just the goofiest
And I
guy.
think he's Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yes.
That guy is Tom Hanks' son?
That
Yes.
guy is Tom Hanks. And you see them together, and you're like, how does this work?
Yeah. It's like you kind of wonder.
Wait,
if that's
who's the
actually
mom?
father. I don't know. Whoever Tom Hanks is married to.
Yeah, Rita something, I think. Rita Wilson. Maybe. We'll find out. But then he has a brother that looks just like Tom Hanks, also an ex. And so it's really funny. They're like complete opposites of
Is
each
Tom
other.
Hanks even that tall?
I think so.
The guy isn't even that tall.
I thought he
Chet-
was tall.
Chet?
I thought he played a basketball player. I thought he was tall.
He wasn't. I mean, he doesn't look that tall.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. Where were we?
Where were we?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll just
Your
slide.
unemployed friends on a
We're
Friday.
unemployed. This is what we talk about.
Oh, we were talking about.
The TikTok thing. The video, the girls' night.
Oh, Girls Night group chat.
Girls' night
The group chat.
Okay, so maybe Nikki can link it in the episode description. Basically, there's this TikTok, and it's a girl impersonating a girls' group chat when, you know, they're all getting together for a girls' night, and then one chick is like, I'm going to bring my boyfriend because he's going through a tough time. I love the comment that someone commented on the video and was like, does Justin know he's going through a tough time?
I've been in that position so many times.
And
It's
I'm
like,
that's so true.
yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, basically the whole TikTok has like blown over. And so yeah, let's talk
Or
about
blown up.
Yeah, blown up. Sorry, not blown over. Has blown up because everyone's like, you know, commenting in the comment section about like whether it's all right to invite a dude to a girls' night.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, invite the chick to the boys' night, you know?
Okay, first, I think you should tell your story about an actual real world experience that is relevant.
Yeah, let's throw in my real world experience. So this happened actually not long ago, so it's very relevant. what was it? A few weeks ago, I was here in LA, and my friend M, we'll call her M, she was texting us about how this DJ was texting her and he wanted her to go to his show. And so I was like, and she was like, I'm not going to do that. And then I was like, wait, let's go. It's this DJ. I've known this DJ. Like, I like their music. Like, let's go. And this is in the girls group chat. There's another group chat where all the guy friends are in it too, and one of our friends' boyfriends, but we were just in the girls chat. And then other girls chimed in. We're like, yeah, let's go. So we rallied. And then at one point, one of our friends was like, is it okay if I bring my boyfriend? And we're all like, yeah, sure, absolutely. Like, the plans were being made only a few days in advance, not, anything like drastic. We hadn't been planning this for a month. And, and she even said, she was like, I don't want to be the girl that's like bringing her boyfriend all the time, but I think he'd like to go to this show too. It'd be fun. Can he come? And so we're like, yeah, let's do it. So we all go, and we made it a whole thing. We gave it its own group chat, Girls Night plus Eric. We made a hashtag GNPE. We
made a hashtag.
we were chanting that throughout the whole night at dinner. Girls Night plus Eric, just randomly, or we'd be in the middle of the show and we would just yell it Girls Night plus Eric. We would just do that, yeah. And it was so fun. And I was even like, Eric, you can borrow a wig. I have a red wig. I was like, how deep do you want to go into this girls' night? So, and Eric, the boyfriend, was a really good sport about it. And it was a really fun girls' night plus Eric. So
nice.
I didn't mind it.
You made him integral to the theme of the night.
Exactly.
Which is great.
But then, for example, we're going to go to New York in June. And typically when we go to New York, we have our Traditions Day where we go to the spa, we go get oysters and Caesar salads, we go to omakase, then we go to karaoke, and then we have a girls' sleepover.
And this is our girlfriends in
girls
New York.
Only. It's just the 6 of us. And then the boyfriends and the guy friends can join for omakase and for karaoke only, right? So in the group chat the other day, I was like, hey, just heads up for the spa. I want to bring my boyfriend because I want him to experience the full Traditions Day. And Nikki was like, can he not stay home?
It's the girl
very valid question to ask.
And I was like, no, I want to bring him. I want him to experience the fullness of Traditions Day. And the spa is essential.
I understand, but this is why I like that TikTok, and it brought up the question of is it okay to bring your boyfriend or girlfriend to boys' night or girls' night, whatever. And I talked to my boyfriend about this because I told him about this episode that we were going to record. He was like, that's actually a great question. And my stance is, if it is a girls' night, and I mean, I love that y'all included Eric, and I think that was kind of an off, kind of different situation. But if it's a general girls' night and one of the girls wants to bring her boyfriend along, I just feel like that throws off the vibe. Then we might as well just sit there and make it everyone bring your boyfriends. Let's just make it a couple's night out. I don't know. Or, if you are partnered. But I just feel like you either, if you're the girl that wants to bring the boyfriend, maybe your boyfriend's having a bad day, you decide then, either I'm joining by myself or I am staying home with my boyfriend and supporting him through this tough night. Pete, what's your stance?
Yeah, I agree. Because you had it already planned, it's a tradition, it's girls' night, and then all of a sudden in the middle of it, it's already planned. If you plan from the very beginning, hey, we're doing this day, Eric's in the beginning of the planning, then maybe that's okay.
You're mixing New York and Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot. Anyways, but if you want to bring your boyfriend, you would have to tell everyone and be like, okay, we're all bringing our boyfriends because we want them all to experience Girls' Day.
Yeah.
But if you're just bringing them by just the one, you guys want to hang out and probably talk shit about some people that and it's different. And so it's not great from the friend group perspective because you guys want to hang with each other.
So let's talk about a boys' night.
Here's my fucking stance, because I think girls are way more open to having a boyfriend join girls' night than boys would ever be about a girlfriend joining guys' night. Pete, do you agree?
I agree. I've also been single for a very long time. I've been single for a very long time. So I haven't ever had to think about bringing my girlfriend in for a guys' night, but girls wouldn't really enjoy guys' night for the most part.
Wait, what happens at guys' night?
It's just like we just hang out. You name random sports players that are obscure from back in your childhood, and then you drink a bunch of beers, and then you either go to a casino and gamble irreverently, or you go to a bar and just get housed. Like that's it.
Okay, see, I feel like this is a general consensus of what a boys' night looks like, because like when my boyfriend describes to me like what his boys' nights are like, it's like they're all getting absolutely hammered, talking about sports, anime, golf.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, but
That's a sport, yeah.
actually, yeah, that is a sport. Golf is so hard. Anyways, and but I mean, like, girls' night is the same.
No, it's
No,
not.
you guys talk about complicated things and get real in depth, and guys' night, we're just hanging out and just talking about whatever we want. That's like not
But the
serious.
activities are the same.
No,
We're
but
doing some sort of substance, and we're all, and yeah, our conversations may be deeper. Like, yeah, maybe we're going into, you know, the
No, but
past.
I disagree that girls don't always go to the bar. It's either brunch, someone's house for some woo-woo shit, or like, you know, face masks and, you know, pajamas and that kind of thing.
or themed cocktail night,
Or yeah, exactly. So it's like
cheese board night,
cheese board. Exactly. It's not the same.
clothing trade night.
The last time I went out to a bar for a girls' night, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
So I don't think the boys.
I mean, sure, we're more dynamic.
You also plan things like guys' nights are never planned. We're like, oh, do you guys want to hang out tonight? We're gonna hang out with the guys. We're like, yeah. And then we're like, all right, what are we doing? All right, 7 o'clock. We're gonna see each other at this location. That's it. Like that's as far as you get with planning. I was at a bachelor party in February. We were in Scottsdale, and what we did, we played pickleball in the morning, grilled in the afternoon, and drank all day. And then we just degenerately gambled at the casino that night. And not one of those days was planned.
See, my
That's
my
not horrible.
boyfriend's at a bachelor party right now, and it's like
Is there an itinerary? I doubt it.
but that's the thing. No, they had a whole spreadsheet.
It's a loose itinerary.
Wait, there
I
was a
gonna say,
spreadsheet.
yeah, there was for this. Okay, so he went to a bachelor party in Cabo a month ago, and it was a very loose schedule. For this bachelor party, I saw a whole spreadsheet because one time I was like, he had his whole computer monitor set up, and I was on my laptop, and I look over, and it's just like, you know, Alex's bachelor party and like budget, activities, what day, the breakdown, when people are leaving. I was like, wow, someone really put thought into this. And
I
then,
want to know if it was a man though, because I mean, generally you just don't see a lot of guys.
honestly, the friend that's throwing it, he seems very like, you know, so.
Bachelor parties are stressful to plan. I'm planning one for this summer. I've planned one before. The one I planned before was for 18 people. And so like you have to have a spreadsheet to like break everything down. But it was
18
basically, it was 18 people. Yeah. So
Who
basically it
has
was like
18 friends? Like,
I do. Welcome to the Midwest. You make your friends in like high school and college, and then everyone just stays. And so you
Yeah.
just got all your friends
I
right
was
there.
going to say, like, guys have 40 close friends for some reason.
hey DT fam, if you're looking for a new gummy to try, we've got the solution for you. Via Hemp makes our favorite gummies, the High Love specifically, if you're looking for the best orgasm of your life. But they've also got some other ones. The Revive, the Zen, the Flow. Whatever you're looking to do, wind down, get a little more amped up, or maybe, you know, increase the chemistry that you have in the bedroom. They've got the solutions with their product line. And they also have drops, which I haven't tried yet, but if they're anything like their gummies, I'm sure they're just as good. And if you want to give them a try and you're 21 and over, head on over to Via Hemp or go to the link in the episode description and use code DTFAM for savings. Let us know what you think. But I want to know, like, okay, if you're a guy and one of the guys is like, hey, I'm going to bring my girlfriend along. You are a guy. But like if one of the guys, and it's guys' night,
Yeah.
one of the guys is like, hey, I'm going to bring my girlfriend along. She's not
How
having
do
a
you
great
feel?
day. Has that happened? How do you feel about it?
It depends. Like it really fully depends. Like if it's with my buddy, if like we're just like hanging out like that night, like it's been like whatever, like we're just all getting together, like sure, come along. Cause like we also don't, again, we don't plan things. So we don't have like specific, it's guys night. But if we're like, oh yeah, next week we're all like in town or something, I haven't seen each other in a while, we're all gonna hang out and go do this thing, then it would be a bigger deal. But like I think it becomes a bigger deal if you do it all the time. Like if it's just you and the guys just hanging, and then it's just the same person bringing their girlfriend like every single time. Eventually, be like, hey, we want to just hang out with us.
Yeah.
I think
Because it throws off the energy. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
I think for these instances, it should be like you get one pass for every 5 hangs, you know, like.
That's good. Yeah.
So let's say this is the 5th time of boys' night in the last 2 months, like you want to bring the girlfriend, I think that's acceptable. Same with girls and and bringing their boyfriends. Like, there's like, I think I agree with you in the sense that like there has to be like a cadence to it almost.
But I also think, like, if I was the girlfriend getting invited to guys' night and I was going to be the only one there, I'm sorry, I'd probably feel a little weird. Or I'd be like, I don't know, it's a lot of male energy, maybe just,
that's why
is there any other girls going? If I can just go do something else.
I think it really has to be like, you have to have an adaptable partner and like also like a self-sustaining partner in the sense that like, you can set them up in a little corner of the bar with a coloring book and a drink and they'll be fine while you guys talk about sports or whatever, like I feel like everyone should be able to, like, for example, I would feel fine bringing my boyfriend to Traditions Day because I feel like
With the girls, yeah.
yeah. Because I feel like no matter what, we can all like shoot our shit and like he'll figure himself out in that venue, at the spa. He'll go around, peek, maybe bring his book or something. So it's not, I don't think he would try to like impede on the vibe too much,
I actually really like Pete's suggestion. Let's just, because I mean, all the other girls have their men,
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was going to suggest anyway.
So why don't we just make it an open invitation, let them all come, and then instead of, Girls' Tradition Day, we'll allow the guys in on the experience of Traditions Day.
And we've done Traditions Day so many times that I think it's acceptable to this, time to bring my partner along.
Yeah, but you have to be comfortable if someone says no. You got to ask that question. And if someone says no, you can't be offended because to them, they might be looking forward for just you hang because maybe they haven't seen you in a while.
I agree with that.
I really like that TikTok in the sense that like, there were some girls that, she was impersonating that like just said their opinion, full stop.
Wait, can you pull it up? I want to see what some of the comments are.
Whole truth. And I feel like that's important because especially if it's like a close friend group, like y'all have to be able to like, have these discussions. Like, okay, hey, sorry, I don't want you to bring your boyfriend. This is why.
Yeah, guys have no problem with this discussion.
But girls can get catty about it. I mean, I don't think any of my friend groups would.
You really think guys have no problem with that discussion?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Read the group chat.
What is this?
Have you seen this?
Hey,
I've seen it, yeah.
So excited for dinner tonight. So I know we said we weren't going to do boyfriends, but honestly, Justin really had such a rough day, and I don't want to leave him alone. He said he didn't want to crash our dinner, but I told him you guys would totally get it. Is she kidding? She's trying to bring her boyfriend again? What do we do? Do we respond?
Again, see, that's
a
contributing note.
She just did. Hey, Haley. So sorry to hear that Justin had such a rough day. I just checked with the restaurant and I am unable to change the reservation to add a seat for him. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with her. Oh, it's so weird that you were unable to change the reservation.
The awkward
I
stuff.
obviously didn't want to bother you guys if it wasn't possible for Justin to come, so I called the restaurant earlier, and weirdly enough, they said it wouldn't be an issue. Anyways, we're so excited to see you guys. We're so excited to see you guys.
We.
Oh, yeah, that is weird. I only tried to change it on Open Table, so maybe that's why. Sorry for the mix-up. See you tonight. She tried. Yeah, she did.
What do the comments say?
Emily. Hey, Haley. I totally get that Justin is having a rough time, but honestly, I think a lot of us in here have been having a rough time recently, and it would be nice to talk about it. Well, I would love for Justin to come to any of the frequently scheduled dinners that include boyfriends. I wouldn't really feel comfortable talking about that stuff in front of him. Maybe we should just keep it us tonight. Okay, that was good. We need one more person to respond, though. Oh, Maddie just texted me. She's going to respond. Hey guys, so excited to see everyone tonight. But seeing as that I'm only in town for a few days and haven't seen you guys in months, I'm gonna have to agree with Emily on this one. See you guys later. I'm fucking obsessed with Maddie. I don't know how the hell she comes back from that. I totally hear you guys, and I so understand where you're coming from. But unfortunately, as I said before, I don't feel comfortable leaving Justin when he's so distraught. So I'm gonna sit this one out. Have the best time. Love you guys. Heart emoji. Okay. What are you wearing later? I don't know. I need help. Come on.
Oh, wait. Okay, that was it.
Okay, see,
Anyways,
I agree.
The first comment is open table, and they're like, "Is this play about us?"
The devious like planning on that's funny. I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I've been there. Like I've been in Justin's shoes, I would be sitting there the whole time, no idea any of this is going on, no idea dinner's happening.
Exactly.
And I would just be like, and I'd be like, no idea that like she would be saying that like we'd be going through a rough time. And if I'd known that, I'd be like, why are you telling other people our stuff? Like, stop.
That's actually a great point. What if you don't know your partner is like trying to bring you along for girls' night or boys' night or whatever?
And it's causing a rift, and then now they're coming into this energy where all the friends are like, "Why is he sure?"
Hey, Justin. Yeah. See, I would.
Their night's ruined before it started. At that point, everyone's upset.
Exactly.
It gives actually for all the girls, since that one chick is now sitting it out and, not bringing Justin, all the other girls can now have a whole conversation and shit talk and, sip the tea on the whole situation. But, like that, I think, for example, is a good representation of a girls group chat of girls that are probably not super, super close. Because I feel like, I don't know, like in our friend group, that would never happen.
No, they'd literally be like, he can't come. Sorry. And then, yeah, I don't know. I do think it can depend on like the closeness.
Be the passive aggressiveness. Like, hey guys, sorry, we're going to be selling time.
Wait, I have a question. What happens if, say, for example, you're dating a girl or in your, situation, like your boyfriend, like you're having personally a rough night and they want to go do like a girl's night, a guy's night, whatever, like, and they're leaving you at home to stew in your negative emotion feeling. Like in that situation, are you going to ask them to stay home with you or are you just going to let them go? The option of joining, not an option.
If I'm upset, don't bring me places with other people.
No, but I mean, would you want them to stay home with you?
I guess it fully depends on like how I'm feeling, but like I'd either be like, either go or stay, but don't bring me along.
Yeah.
Because like, if I'm upset, is like the last thing I want to do is be hanging around like 9 other people, having a great time, and I would just be sitting there just upset, like clearly ruining the vibe of a place.
Vibe, yeah.
I think I have 3 different, points of context, whatever. A, what am I upset about? Like, if it's like, my dog died, don't take me anywhere. I'm just going to cry.
But would you want your partner to stay home with you?
Wait, hold on. I'm getting there.
Like, where would you make the demand for that?
See, I don't know, because like if the problem is small enough, I wouldn't mind going, but that's just because I'm clingy and like I love spending time with my boyfriend and I want to be glued to him sometimes, and it's like, if I'm feeling low and he was like, and I knew, okay, he has a boys' night planned, I'm feeling a little low, and he was like, hey, I know you're kind of feeling down right now, like, do you want to come join? If it wasn't a big deal, I probably would consider it and I would appreciate the invite, Okay. But I wouldn't demand that he stay home with me. I would ask like, okay, maybe is there a compromise here? Like, yeah, I'm feeling low, but he's had these plans, like you go, but like, if you can be home, like, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour earlier so that we can like cuddle and I can feel better about this whole situation. I'd love that,
I like that. I think that's fair.
So there's like there's levels to it.
Yeah, I would just be like, if it's a planned girls' night, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Perfect. And especially like, if that's happening, if I'm in a bad mood, it's like, I don't want to be there. I just want to like, you go have fun. I'm going to like play Xbox and drink like 12 beers and have a good time.
Cry, yeah.
Self-regulate, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think in that situation, like it is good to like, just like your partner go have fun. Don't bring them down. And then you figure out a way to self-soothe at home.
Yeah.
But it is also like, because you guys brought up the point of like someone that's like always bringing around their partner to like things that maybe it's just like just a group of friends want to hang out and they're always bringing their partner. Like, then I definitely think it can beg the question of like, well, can they just like not spend any time apart? And then like, is, like, do they not trust their partner to like have a night apart? Do they not like, and that would be something I'd be curious about for sure.
Well, and you have to take into consideration that some couples are like that. They just don't ever want to be apart.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. No,
and some are also very independent. But they're always doing shit apart.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like, and there's always like a healthy medium. I feel like it's good to have some time apart so that you can like miss each other.
Yeah.
Come back.
Okay, but what is everyone's definition of a good amount of time apart? Pete, you start.
you each have your own friends. Like you can go do stuff. Like if I'm going out with my friends, you don't have to be with me every single time. I did date someone that was like that, where I'd be like, oh, I'm going out with my friends tonight. What are you doing? She goes, oh, can I come? And I was like, can you go out with your friends? Like it's fine. Like
Did that start arguments?
it always started arguments. Yeah. Cause I don't know. I don't think she trusted me. And that was the crux of the entire thing, was like, she didn't trust me, which is funny. But like I would want to go with my friends, and I was like, you don't have to be with me every time. My friends are fun and awesome. I do know that. They're the best. However, like go hang out with your friends, like go see them. Like you haven't seen them in a while. Like why do you always have to be with me? But I also like to be very independent in a relationship and stuff like that. And so that's probably why that didn't work. Yeah.
I think it can depend on everyone's independence level.
Yeah.
See,
And like whether or not you're living together.
I'm at the spot where I realize I'm clingy.
Mm-hmm.
I've
We love
become
self-awareness.
yes, I've become more comfortable with alone time. That took me a few years to get there, especially because like I grew up with a twin my entire life. So like I'm used to companionship all the time. You know, so it's different.
Yeah. I'm just like hyper independent. So I'm like completely opposite.
Exactly. And what was my third point? I champion for individuality and autonomy in relationships, even though for myself, I have a really hard time trusting people in general, and like not like my anxiety just like runs rampant, you know? So it's like all those things put together, and I feel like I'm very, you know, like relaxed in situations where it's like, okay, yeah, like I always tell my boyfriend, like, okay, so you want to have a guys' night? I don't care. Go have fun. I will figure out my own plans. Like all is good. I just, you know, I want like a little text, I love you, you know, something like that. You know, like there needs to be just one little compromise in the sense that like, yeah. But
I don't think that's too much to ask for.
no. But
And there's nothing wrong with a partner that like wants reassurance, you know, when you guys do spend time apart.
But I think time apart helps because then, like, you know, then
You miss each other.
You miss each other, and when you come back together, like, it's really fun. So then it's like, you know,
And you have stuff to talk about.
exactly.
So if you're always together, like, what do you talk about?
Exactly.
I worked with two people that were married and were at my work together. So they carpooled together and worked together and then carpooled home. And I was just sitting there one day and I was like, what do you guys talk about when you go home? So you've seen each other all day. Like, do you just sit in silence or be like, hey, check out, look what I saw.
I have a good answer to this, because this is what Nicole and I have experienced for the past 31 years. When you're like that close with someone and you spend a lot of time, like Nikki and I have for the past 4 years, you're in the middle of a restaurant in New York City talking, having a very deep conversation about why this one dude isn't good for you. And the lady next door, or, you know, the table over leans in and she's like, I think you should follow your sister's advice. That's what you talk about.
It gets really deep and philosophical.
Exactly. It gets really deep and really philosophical very quickly.
Like Cammy and I don't talk about like what we do on a day to day. I know what she does. I see it.
Yeah.
It's what we talk about is literally like, well, what do you think about, you know, if men all had the same size penis, what would they then use to measure each other, you know, as a point of reference in their ego? Things like that, you know? So, and then we put it on a podcast because I think people like those conversations.
That makes sense.
But it's true. Like, yeah, when you spend so much time together, then it's like, what, you know, it does foster deeper conversations, I think.
I like it. Wait, hold on. Before we wrap up, I got one final question that I really wanted to answer while Pete
Is it time
was
to
here.
wrap up already?
Almost.
Oh, we didn't hit any of the things we were going to, or Reddit stories.
Well, I mean, we hit one. Yeah.
Hit one.
Oh, we hit.
See, I told
we
you.
had Reddit stories?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was like, he had a whole list of ideas, and I was like, this is like 4 episodes, dude. But
I know, I'm telling you. Yeah, you pick one topic, and that's usually enough.
Oh.
Okay, now my question was going to be, because I actually saw this on TikTok the other day, and so when you guys brought up this TikTok, it just reminded me of another one, where basically like people were arguing a little bit about like using dating apps to find friends. And it reminded me because like, you know, my boyfriend was telling me a story about like a friend who had like found a dating app on his wife's phone, and she's like, I'm just using it to find friends. And I think that can be kind of a dicey line, but like, or a kind of a dicey gray area. I think it's something that should be discussed. But like, for example, you know, Field's got a great selection of people that you can just go on there to be friends with.
What is
and
that?
they have that capability. Field.
I've never heard of it.
A field?
Yeah.
FEELD?
What do you like? What's the premise of this app?
But I think it's really just become an app for like just really open people. You know,
Open-minded people. It's a good open-minded
people,
community.
Different, all sorts of like, sexualities and preferences and things like that. So, I mean, you can't just go on that, have that app just to like make friends, because obviously you can connect with men, women, theys, whichever, and so yeah, it's got a wide variety.
You can use it. I'm just thinking, like, if my partner came to me and was like, I'm going to get on a dating app to find friends, I'm going to be like, I'm going to feel indifferent. I'm not going to feel very good about it. However, some people might have a different response.
I want the login info if you're going to do that.
Yes,
Love that.
No,
It's going on my phone too, so I'm going to see exactly what's going on.
Okay, that's a great point. I do think,
is.
yeah, if you're in a relationship, I don't think that there's necessarily something wrong with that, using a dating app like Field, for example, to find friends and find like-minded people and just, foster a community, especially like if you're kinky or, there's something you're wanting to, connect with people on. However, I agree. You gotta...
For me, no, I don't want any dating apps on my boyfriend's phone. I don't want any dating apps on my phone. It ain't gonna happen.
But I really do. I really like that, the login info. That's what I was going to say. And then that way you get the notifications too. That's great.
Yeah. So we're just pinging at the same time. If you're getting one that I'm not getting, I'm going to start looking. Be like, what's going on over here?
Do you think, I feel like girls using dating app or like an app, because like, for example, there were other apps that were created so that like you could find friends if you wanted to, and then also turn into dating apps. But like, I think for women, it's probably a lot easier to go on those platforms and do that. Like, I feel like for men.
No. I've never heard of any of my friends that are guys that have gone on a dating app to find friends. My friends that are girls, all the time, they're like, oh yeah, I was just scrolling through and I was just using it to find friends. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. If I wanted to go make friends, I'd just go to the gym.
And if you are interested in downloading Field, go to the App Store or Google Play and type in FEELD. You can use it to find friends or the love of your life. How do men find friends?
The gym. Go to the gym. You start seeing the same people every day, or just have a hobby. Have a hobby.
Yeah.
And you go do something that you like, and then you'll start meeting people. Guys make friends really easily. I made a friend at the gym when I first moved to California within weeks, because I was at the gym one day and I looked at him. We both had mustaches. We both had tattoos. And we just kind of looked at, and I wanted the thing he was working on. And I was like, looked at him, and we just kind of we're like, yeah, we can be friends. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we immediately just became friends.
That
was it.
Okay, see, I feel like, because I mean, obviously, like, we see your IG stories. I feel like you've made a group of friends in Newport, having just moved there not that long ago, very quickly.
Yeah. I called it, it's the yes theory of like life. I was explaining this to my buddy because he's like lived in a bunch of different places, but he's considering moving to Seattle, and he was visiting me last week. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, like, what do you do to like meet people? And I say, for the first, like, it sucks. If you move somewhere you don't know people, it sucks. And the way you do it is you have to say yes to everything for months. And and whatever like someone's doing, you have to say yes. Like I would go do like a hobby. I go to like run club, and then like someone would be like, hey, we're going to go dancing, country dancing later. Like, are you in? And I'd be like, yeah, even though I was just like, I don't know where we're going or what this bar is. Like, I'm just going to, yes. And then I'd be up until like 12 o'clock on a work night when I had a job. No, I don't. And then
unemployed friends on a Friday.
I'd be like really quiet. I'd be like really tired. Like my coworkers were like, why are you so tired? It's like, I went here, and then dancing. And then I got home at like midnight, and they're like, oh, and I was like, you just got to say yes to everything. So like, and you got to show up at places consistently. And then you start seeing the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I now like have started talking to people at like this new gym I joined just because like I checked in every day and like started making funny comments. Like that's it.
Why do men change gyms so often? What is it with
no, that's not true.
I feel like a lot of guys I know like just like constantly like just different gyms. One, they're here for a few months, here the next one. They like, it's like, side pieces.
I could not tell you. I'm loyal to gyms. I just like didn't like the first gym I joined here, and then my friend showed me a better one.
You get into a gym membership and you're like, oh fuck, never mind, I don't like this, and then you get out of it and try something new.
Yeah.
I hate starting new gyms though.
It's the worst.
I hate it.
I don't think I've ever made friends at the gym.
I found a gym in San Diego finally, because my partner's gym, it was like $120 a month for a gym membership. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So he tried to get me grandfathered into the rate that he was at, which was like 40. And they were like, nah, fam. So he was like, well, I'm leaving. So we left and went to a different gym. And like that, starting a new gym is like so nerve wracking, because then like you look like a wandering seal pup trying to find
You don't know the etiquette. You don't know how things work.
Exactly. And we picked like one of those like kind of like beef head gyms, you know?
The best. The best.
So, yeah.
All right, as our final thing, wrapping up this episode, you have a voice note I love.
Oh.
Are you down to play it?
Yeah, I can play the voice note.
Okay.
Which one do we want to do?
The one that you sent to the producer of the show.
Oh, yes. Let me
That
find
one.
that real quick.
Okay, I love this voice note. You know, we'll just drop it at the end and leave it there for anyone that wants to have their opinion and comment on it. But yes, let's hear it.
Yeah, so this voice note was a show where I couldn't talk. It was like a dating show where like guys can't talk. I couldn't talk the whole time. So it was the first time they hear me talk. And then they had to guess like whose voice belonged to who. And the first guy played like a very nice and like smooth voice note, being like, I'm so cool and like nice and sensual. And I was
He
like,
said that?
no, it was, but like, I can't remember what he said,
Yeah,
but it
I
was like
can-
very like kind of romantic. And I like had recorded these voice notes and I just went, actually, I'm just going to air all my grievances out right now for an entire crowd.
Okay, put it like right in front of this.
This is a perfect opportunity for me to air my grievances. Bars are too loud. I'm trying to chill. If you want to dance and be at a club with music that loud, that's fine. Not at the bar. Vapes are dumb. Bring back smoking cigs. More things need to be gate kept. Not everyone needs to know about cool stuff. Gen Z doesn't know how to attend concerts. Tacos should never be more than $3. Phones at the bar should be illegal. If we pay for a group dinner with a credit card, you have 30 minutes to Venmo the person. You're not in a situationship. You're in a bad relationship. Line dancing should only be to country music. Appetizers are better than main dishes. And bachelor and bachelorette parties should be thrown after divorce.
Thank you.
I could not agree
Can
more.
we talk about what was that one point you just made? Fuck. It was like 3 before the last one.
I don't remember.
Phones don't belong at bars.
What?
Phones don't belong at bars.
I would agree with that.
Tacos
yes.
should only be $3. Gen Z doesn't know how to go
Attend
to concerts.
concerts.
Yes.
I agree.
don't.
1,000%. Gen Z just, yeah, Gen Z needs to figure out how to go to a concert.
Wait, no, there was one I really agreed with, and now I can't remember it.
Which one are there?
Tacos should never be more than $3. Phones at the bar should be illegal. If we pay for a group dinner with a credit card, you have 30 minutes to Venmo.
Yes!
I actually still owe a Venmo to someone from a group dinner on Monday.
Yeah, Nicole from
You
the
have to pay them
People like you
immediately.
are why I agree with that. This is why I hate paying for group dinners unless I know and personally can attest like to the trust with every single person that I'm about to pay for. You know, like I have to. It has to be inner circle. I'm not paying for outer circle.
I
dinners.
hate owing people money. And so like
No, I do too, but I just forgot. It's a $15 coffee. This is what I'm Venmoing for.
that's still that's not the point.
But it's
No, I
true
know.
because like I don't want like okay. See,
Because I don't want to be like, hey, remember that $15 you owe me?
I know. Where is
well,
Chloe?
here's a good example. So one night I was out with my boyfriend, his roommate, and we were just out with a bunch of people. And at one point, the 3 of us left to go get dinner. And at dinner, the roommate paid. And, you know, we're all like drunk and whatever. And I'm over here like in my drunken state, like, okay, gotta Venmo Scott. And then a month goes by. Scott has not even brought up the Venmo. And I'm like, my guy. And I kept telling my boyfriend, I was like, we need to send the Venmo to your roommate. And he was like, oh yeah, we'll do that. He'll Venmo request us. I was like, okay. And then finally, like, however many weeks later, like we finally sent the Venmo, and I'm like, or he did. And it was giving me anxiety.
So to tie it all up, don't get invited to girls' night and forget to pay the Venmo. Thank you, Pete, for joining us.
Thank you
I
for
love your
having me.
grievances more than anything.
Bring
I think
back
about
cigs.
that. I think about
Yes,
that list
yes.
often.
Take away the cigs, take away the vapes.
Sigs look so much cooler.
I agree with that. Now, where can people find you?
You can find me at @PeteSki_, PETESKI_ on TikTok and Instagram. My Instagram's getting slowly more interesting. Follow me there.
Also, why is it Pete Ski? Shouldn't it be Pete Snowboard?
It's the nickname has nothing to do with skiing. My friend nicknamed me Pete Ski in like my sophomore year of high school, and it stuck. That's what it had nothing to do with skiing. And then I did a bunch of skiing and snowboarding later.
Oh wait, I should probably like outro us. Anyways, guys, don't forget to give us a 5-star review. Leave a nice comment. We like those. Wear condoms.
We'll see you next time.